What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 8 of our podcast, Sip and Sports. How we doing?
We're doing great.
Great to hear.
How are you, Dave?
Another day, baby. Love it.
Yeah, happy Thursday.
Yeah, it's exciting. Week's flying.
I know.
But you want to tell them what we're doing today?
Yeah, so we got top moment of the week. Then we're going Minnesota Minute. After that, betting recap. And then we're going to be welcoming in our first guest. We'll keep it a surprise until then.
Special guest.
Yes, very special guest. First guest ever. So it has to be special. And then after he comes on, we're going into the beer and seltzer review. And then we're talking all things NHL playoffs since they started this week. So we'll give you a rundown on all those series. And then finishing out with top fives. So Dave, what's your moment of the week?
Yeah, so my moment of the week, I know last week we finished up the NFL draft. My moment of the week is that 5 players from Georgia's defense were drafted in the first round. First time ever. That's crazy. First pick, 13th, 22nd, 29th, 32nd.
First and last of the first round?
Yeah. That's probably the reason they won the national championship.
Yeah.
Decent reason.
I think I heard something that they were like, there's gonna be 7 or 8. There's a couple guys that were underclassmen that couldn't declare, and so after next year, there's probably gonna be like 7 or 8 out of the 11 that started this year.
Yeah,
they're
that's
first rounders.
I mean, it's like the same thing with all those big teams. They literally just keep refilling with better guys.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's the same teams every time. Alabama.
Yeah, like 3 years ago, weren't we having the same conversation about the Alabama offense?
Yep, it's the same thing every year. What about you?
My top moment in sports also had to do with the NFL draft, but there was a video that circulated of Sean McVay and the GM, I believe, of the Rams, and they were doing a little press conference, watching the draft, and the New England Patriots made their pick, end of the first round. His name's Cole Strange, offensive lineman, and they both looked, and McVay goes, "Strange? Why do we waste our time thinking that he was going to be available at the 104th pick when he went in the first round?" Because the Rams didn't have a first round pick, and so they were just watching for later, and they thought that there was a chance that he was going to be available at 104, and he went at 28.
Yeah, I think that caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone had him on the books. I mean, they obviously, looking back on the recap, they had one of the worst draft grades.
The Patriots did?
Yeah, Patriots, which is probably not common, but he'll probably turn out to be a stud
He's going
somehow.
to be a stud.
Yeah, with Central Michigan?
No, it was UT Chattanooga.
UT Chattanooga, that's what it was. I mean, it's one of those things, like when he was drafted, I think everyone was like, nobody had him in the first, second, or third round.
Yeah.
Maybe third round. But hey.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you do like a fancy draft on Madden too. It's like if you pick anybody but the people that they think should be going, then your draft grade is going to be terrible.
Right. And I mean, he might turn out to be a stud, but I don't know. The experts aren't saying so. We'll see.
Who knows?
That's crazy. I did see that video too. I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, Sean
Awesome.
McVay seems like he's a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, he might have had a drink or two.
They
didn't have to do anything that night.
Yeah, he probably didn't. Yeah, press conference, drinks on the side.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go Minnesota Minute here. So you got all your
Ready to
stuff?
roll?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
ready
hit
to
it.
All right, so Twins jumped into first place after sweeping the White Sox. They were 9-1 going into Monday. They play the Orioles Athletics this week. Wild, obviously, starting Monday, home series against the Blues in the playoffs. Timberwolves are going to go quick. Lost to the Grizzlies, don't want to talk about it. Gopher softball 1-2 against Michigan this past weekend. Gopher baseball swept against MSU 0-3 and plays Nebraska next.
Michigan State
University.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, tough. They're 2-13 in the conference, not great. St. Thomas softball also 0-3 against SDSU. Plays Green Bay next. St. Thomas baseball was the only successful, went 2-1 and plays Oral Roberts.
Okay.
Yeah. We were at the Timberwolves game, FYI. Tough.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Let's move on. But so Michigan State baseball is worse than the Gophers baseball.
No, Gophers went 0-3 against Michigan State. Sorry, they got swept
I thought okay.
by
Gotcha.
Michigan State.
I
No.
heard that wrong.
They've won 2 games the whole year, the conference.
Okay, I thought that for some reason you said that the Gophers swept. I
Got
was
swept.
like, oh
Sorry,
my
got
God.
swept by Michigan State.
Okay, maybe I must have heard that wrong.
No, you were probably drinking. But, okay, so let's go to the next thing. Betting recap.
Yeah.
You want to run it down?
Yeah.
Average weeks again?
Yeah. We're right around 500. Dave was one game above 500 at 11-10, and I was 10-11. So in terms of breakdown, we had Dave 3-3 NBA, 0-4 NHL, 0-1 soccer. So you might be wondering where all the wins came from. That's in the MLB, 8-2 in the MLB for David, making it 11-10 overall. I went 4-4 in the NBA, 2-0 in the NHL. So we're riding a hot streak into the playoffs. 0-2 in soccer, not my sport. MLB 4-5. So a lot of average other than NHL, which apparently that might be my new thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it is crazy. Your soccer bet for Saturday, your team was winning the whole game. And then somebody got a red card.
I know, I saw that.
I
I was like, there's no chance they're going to win.
Yeah. And soccer, tough start. But you know what? Not great that the NHL playoffs are going, so we'll have to bet those a little bit.
Do you want to tell them about the Chelsea thing?
Oh, about your bet?
Yeah.
Oh, so last week, quick recap. I gave Nair a win because I thought he put Chelsea and he put a W next to it, which meant win instead of women's. I thought he bet the Chelsea women, so I said, Nair, that's a fantastic bet. Way to do your research.
Yeah.
They won 2-1.
The Chelsea women won.
Yeah, they won 2-1, and the men tied, which is technically a loss. And
Yeah.
he came back and said,
I
no, we bet on the men.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so. But he was a good guy and fixed it, so
That's okay.
it's a good honor.
But, all right.
All right,
That's pretty quick.
well, so now it's the big guy.
Yeah.
This is long time coming. Our self-proclaimed,
Well, it's 8 episodes.
yeah, long time coming. 8 episodes in, long time coming, we'll say, and self-proclaimed NHL expert.
Yeah. He's our hockey expert.
He is, and he probably should help me out a little.
Yeah.
But
I need it. All right, well, let's welcome in.
All right.
Without further ado.
our guy, Josh Succi, big dog,
Thanks, guys.
right in the middle.
It's a pleasure to be on the pod.
Yeah, so let's hear it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, no, I met Narim in college, probably sophomore year, probably.
Gustavus.
Gustavus, yep. Grew up a big sports fan like you guys. Played basically everything under the sun: soccer, baseball, hockey, lacrosse. Hockey and lacrosse are probably the two that I stuck with the most. All the way through high school, and then I played lacrosse through college. Still, rocking the rec sports with hockey and softball. We've thrown a little basketball a couple years ago, which is not great.
Yeah.
It's a sight to see. He even got me on the soccer pitch, which is probably another sight to see. I rolled my ankle too many times. We're probably done there. But yeah.
So would you say hockey's your favorite sport?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely to play and to watch. I think it's super entertaining. There's always something kind of going on, and from a playing standpoint, you're not getting slashed all over your wrists and your forearms. So
Just your ankles.
yeah, just your
With the
ankles.
sticks.
It sticks with your ankles, but at least
What?
you got a little bit more padding.
What does it feel like to take a puck off the ankle?
Oh,
I can't skate, so I've never done that. I will never catch me out there.
it's awful. I mean, your just whole foot goes like numb.
Yeah.
Especially if you catch it off like the front of your boot. It's not.
There's
It's
no
not
padding.
good. There's not a lot. But it's all just like hard plastic and then your foot. So it's just like everything like almost shakes, but you can feel it in your whole foot.
Oh. Do you wear like shin pads?
You wear shin pads, but like
But not down to the
yeah, and then like your tongue of your skate doesn't cover like the first like call it 2 or 3 inches. So if you take one like right there, there's a little bit of a padding break between like your actual shin pad and your skate.
Okay.
So yeah, not good.
You will not catch me out there. We used
gotta
to play
get
a
you-
little. We used to play a little knee hockey though. That's fun stuff.
Yeah. We'll have to
Can
get
you
you on the
skate?
ice though.
I can't skate.
I haven't
We'll teach
skated in a long time.
I don't even think I have skates.
I don't either.
Yeah. No.
That's okay though.
We could play boot.
Yeah.
We played
I
boots.
feel like I could. Dingle
feel
dangle.
fine
I was gonna say,
I
a little
have,
top
I have a
shelf.
hockey stick.
Oh, I have a hockey stick too for sure.
Right where Mama keeps the cookies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Top shelf, baby.
Yep.
All right, should we get to the goods?
Yeah, let's get to the main
Also,
seltzer.
special guest did a great thing. Brought his own beverage.
Yeah.
Not required.
Not expected either.
No, not expected at all.
Pleasant surprise.
Very pleasant surprise. So, let's do this. We have a lot of glasses on the table.
Well, we have to have 3 for each of them.
Yep.
Dave, what's yours?
So mine is recommended by Michelle. Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blackberry Lemon.
Blackberry?
Blackberry. That's what it says, even though that looks like a
I was gonna say that looks like a blueberry, but that is definitely a blackberry.
That's a blackberry. Because
Yeah, but why is it blue?
Yeah, it's a blue can.
Different little.
Don't you think it's deceiving that it's blue, though?
Yeah, it is poor mark.
Yeah, but they can't just. They can't make that black and have it black and yellow. That's not as visually appealing.
True. Shout out Wiz Khalifa. Great song.
Yeah. And I brought Todd the Axeman Surly a brewing IPA.
A local
A
brewery.
local brew, yeah.
Certainly.
Nair? Yes, I brought the Cabin Crusher from
Whoa.
Summit Brewing Company, also a local brewery in St. Paul, Minnesota.
The Cabin Crusher.
Yep, it's a Kolsch style ale with lime.
I've heard of that. I don't know if I've ever had it.
Which brewery?
Summit.
Summit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I think keep it the same rotation. Seltzer first.
Yeah.
Then we'll just go right down the line. Big Such Dog is this
I'm
one.
gonna give a score.
Which one was it? This one was Such?
Yeah.
My God, we're playing like charades over
So
here.
this is mine.
That's your Such.
Yep.
So score,
Yeah,
smell it,
Seltzer first.
do whatever you want.
Yeah, take as much time as you want. What is it?
It's not one
Blackberry-
sip.
Blackberry lemon has antioxidants, vitamin C. In case anybody cared.
That's coming from the lemon. It's true.
No,
Vitamin C, citrus.
100%. Isn't that from an orange? Or is that also lemon?
Yeah, it's from both.
Nice. Isn't that also from the sun?
Everyone knows his fruits.
That's vitamin D.
Vitamin D, classic mix up. What is a blackberry? Does it have any nutrients? Nutrition?
I'm
value?
sure it does. I'm not that.
Not that fair.
Not that.
Hey, just wanted to see how far we could go.
Yeah. Didn't know I was gonna get my fruit knowledge today.
That's what we do.
I'm pretty sure there's potassium in raspberries, but that's
Yeah.
beside.
Oh, that's raspberries. Oh, that's,
No, yeah.
that's just part of the berry. That's just the berry clan.
What do you think, Such? Have you ever had this before?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever had a Vizzy?
I've had a Vizzy.
Okay.
Similar to you, I'm not the biggest fan of overly fizzy drinks. And so I feel like this one's not too bad. I don't know. I feel like the flavor isn't anything to write home about. Sorry, I know your mother recommended this one.
it's just a
but-
recommendation. She doesn't
To
live by
each
this.
their own.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a 6.7. I'm
6.7?
probably a tougher grader, but
That's actually a pretty good grade.
That is pretty.
That's a
good.
very good grade.
oh.
But you're figuring out your scale. Do you like seltzers in general?
Yes, I don't mind seltzers.
What's your favorite one off the top of your head?
You know, I do like Mimitas, but I think High Noons are probably the ones that people will know the most. Mimitas are ones with tequila, but High Noons I liked probably the best. I still need to try their new flavors. I think they just came out with 2 or 3 new ones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You'll have to maybe add those.
Yeah, maybe
list.
we'll have to expand to the high nooners.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
I've also
those are
been
pretty good.
getting that in my ear
Getting out of here about the high noons.
that we should have high noons. Yeah, at some point.
That's what I've heard. I've heard they're pretty good.
What do you think, Dave?
I'm not as big a fan of this one.
I'm not either, to be honest with
I
you.
just don't think it has a lot of flavor. Like you can taste the lemon more. I mean, I don't know what a blackberry tastes like, but
you can
smell more than you can taste it though. But I feel like that's kind of been the trend. I think with the other Vizzy we had was it smelled a lot more.
I can smell the blackberry.
I think it smells a lot more than it tastes. Like when you taste it, it's like, oh, there's really not that much flavor. Kind of like what Such said. So I would probably say 6.1. Still in the 6s, I think. I don't mind. I think Vizzies are
It's easy
better.
to drink. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not like it's.
Not a lot of carbonation, like you said.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a bad flavor. It just
No.
really doesn't have a lot of flavor.
There's just not a lot of flavor.
I don't really like the aftertaste either. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me though. I'll give it a 5.9.
5.9?
Yeah.
So 5.9, 6.1, 6.7.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And now, so that was Vizzy Blackberry Lemon. Oh, it just says hint of blackberry lemon.
That's interesting because I can smell the blackberry more.
Yeah, that is interesting. Why they would say hint. Why not just make that? Whatever. That's what All right, so what's the next one? Are we going on to
mine?
Man's?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going what is it?
Todd the Axeman IPA.
From Surly.
Yep.
They're open.
That's the darker one?
Yep. They are open again.
Potent.
I don't think either of you guys like IPA, so this will be interesting.
Mm. Yeah, right away. It's not. It's actually really, truthfully though, it's not bad.
No,
but I'm not an IPA guy, so
Yeah.
it's just like right away. It's like the first sip, and once it tastes, I just am like, ooh, that's not me.
What were you gonna say? It's not as strong as some of the other ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say that especially the aftertaste. I feel like some of the aftertaste, it's just like all hops, and I feel like this one's not as bad.
7.2% alcohol.
Yeah, you
That's
put you on your ass.
That's usually pretty common with IPAs, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Higher percentage.
Yep.
This is an interesting question. What is the difference? Like, what makes an IPA? Is it just hoppier?
I think it's with
Just how it's brewed?
yeah,
The
how they
process.
the materials to brew it.
Got it.
Yeah. Not a brewer.
Not yet.
Not yet. I like this one. I'll jump.
So
on
you're an
first.
IPA guy?
I am a big IPA guy.
Okay.
I think my favorite's probably Steel Toe, size 11. But the issue is you only can get that during a couple months of the year. It's limited. It's starting January 11th is when they start opening it until they run out. It's just normally like a month or two.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh, so it's done.
it's done now. You can't have it now until next January.
That's annoying.
I know.
So it's that fast selling.
Steel toe
Oh, yeah.
size 11. Is that in St. Louis Park?
St. Louis Park. Yep. And
Steel
they have
toe
it.
brewing?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. And they have a
It's
size
over
7.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Size 7, which is just their normal IPA, but the size 11 is a triple IPA.
That's the name of them? They're size
Oh.
7 and size 11?
yeah, with boots, steel toe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's kind of clever.
Yeah.
So it's a triple IPA because it's stronger.
Yeah, I think it's like 12 or 13%.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. So
No
those
wonder.
things will.
yeah.
So it's probably fermenting longer in the barrel or whatever they're doing with it. So that's how it gets more alcohol.
Yeah.
And that's why it's only a certain amount of time because it has to sit there for.
Maybe longer. And they maybe only make a certain amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably could takes longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they probably
a
only
bit.
have a certain amount of space.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 7-8.
That is the highest score.
Well, he likes this one.
100%. That's great. I'm the opposite. I'm going not as. I mean, I don't mind it. It's like one of those things, like we've kind of said for our other brewery ones. Like, this is one I probably won't even think of ordering. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like you taste it and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't finish it. But I would probably say it's, for me, probably a 5.4.
That's fair.
5.4.
That's fair.
For me. I mean, I just don't like IPAs.
I feel like IPAs, you either love them or hate them.
Yeah, I think they're just different.
Yeah.
I think you also kind of have to have a range for each kind.
Yeah.
Right? Like your IPA range is probably from like 5 to 7.
Yeah, I would probably even say like 4 to 6.5.
Okay.
It's pretty low.
So this is kind of
No, this is in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's horrible. I think it's one of those like where you taste it and you're like, hey, I'll finish it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna probably get another one.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's awful.
I don't typically get IPAs at restaurants or breweries or whatnot, but I've definitely had way worse IPAs.
100%.
So I would say we're gonna go like 6.2.
6.2,
Yeah, but I would say my IPA scale is probably like
5 to 7, or lower.
maybe like 4.5 to 7, 7 and 7 or 7.5.
So it's
So,
like
like,
the middle.
It's
upper.
middle to middle up, I would say.
I mean, the thing is, like when you taste it, it's like I guess some IPAs where you taste it and you're like, when it goes down and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
that was really bad.
and then it sticks with you.
Yeah.
Those are the bad
And it was like really bad, and you're like, oh my god, I really cannot finish this.
Yeah.
But this is not that bad.
No.
But
All
so
right.
7.8, 5.4,
6.2.
6.2 with a grain of salt because ours are different scales.
Yeah.
Well, like based off that.
But I think that's reasonable. Everybody should have their
100%.
own scale.
Oh, totally.
All right, third one. So we got Cabin Crusher.
And what did it have a hint of?
Summit Brewing. It's Kolsch style ale with lime.
Okay.
A little lime twist. I will say, and we've said this before, these cans are cool.
It says brewed to be crushable.
Oh, so this is a India Pale Ale.
IPA.
IPA. That's what it stands for, I did not. Dank, hoppy, and loud.
That's the Axeman.
Yeah, and I want to say the guy, the brewer that made it or created that one, his name was Todd, so they called it Todd the Axeman.
Oh, makes sense. All right. Can you smell the lime?
Mm-hmm.
I can.
I can only smell one.
That's a good. I'd say that's good.
Yeah. Very light.
Ooh, very light.
Yeah.
Literally just goes right down.
Yeah, I would say it goes, yeah. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I think it is good. When you taste it, though, there's not as much lime. There's literally a hint of lime, which it says.
All right.
So it's not lime.
I almost feel like the lime is almost like the aftertaste.
Yeah.
Because I feel like to start, there's not much lime, and then...
Yeah. I think it's crazy. I think a lot of these, the last few beers we've had, besides this Axeman, like, they have a hint of something and it doesn't taste like a beer. Like, this one doesn't really taste like a beer either.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you're finding these in this soda section or what you're finding, but these don't taste like a beer.
This one is, let's see here.
What percent?
I don't know.
Spin the can one more time.
Flip it over.
This is definitely a summer beer, though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I would...
Is this a
Can
special?
you find it?
Brewed to be crushable. Perfect for cabin country.
Yeah.
I'm in on it, though.
I think it's pretty good. I actually think it's pretty good.
Can you please look at this and tell me where the percentage is? Because I seriously cannot find it.
No, I can't find it actually either.
And there's no alcohol in here.
That's what I'm saying. This is like soda. Kolsch.
Isn't that wild? It literally does not say.
Yeah, I feel like you have
Leave it to
say.
Narum to get a non-alcoholic beer.
Was this a Heineken Zero?
Yeah.
I feel like you have to put on the can how much it is.
Yeah, I think...
Isn't that like illegal?
I thought so. But I was once sold a case of beer that was 6 months expired.
Ah.
Yeah. Plus, it says Kolsch style ale. Like, that's alcohol. That's a beer.
Oh yeah, definitely alcohol. That is crazy though.
Yeah.
Also a cool can.
Yeah, it literally does not say on it. Would you say that that's good marketing or bad marketing because they don't give you all the information?
Wow, it could work both ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Could make you drink more because you don't know how much percentage, and then all of a sudden it hits you, which is technically bad marketing. But
This is truly the first beer I've ever had that doesn't say what percentage.
yeah, it literally doesn't say it on the whole can.
Yeah.
It's a cool can though.
Interesting.
Such, what do you
I
have?
would guess it's like a 4.3.
Yeah, it tastes light. It tastes light.
I'm gonna go 7.5. It's one of those beers that you have a lot of in the summer.
Yeah.
But
What
I
if it
would
is special for the summer?
but I would not drink
It is
any other time of the year. It's got to be hot out.
Yeah, it's a cabin. It's literally a cabin.
Or a
Yeah.
patio.
Patio. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
On a hot day.
Yeah.
A hot day.
Yeah.
maybe you just played a round of golf.
Yeah.
Want a beer or two. This is
It reminds me of like a summer shandy, but like with lime.
Totally.
yeah.
Maybe
it's the lime version.
I'm with you on that route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might
Okay, what
I
do you
give my
think?
score?
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I would say probably on the scale, probably a 6.8. So I think it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty good.
Is that a good score for you?
Yeah.
Sevens. If you get into sevens with me, that's for beers. That's pretty dang good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6.9.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good score. So it didn't break the 7 for you.
Not quite.
Not
I think my only two that are in the 7s are the peanut butter and the peach mango from last week.
Yeah, peach mango was good, but they didn't taste like beer.
I know.
And the peanut butter
This
one.
one's touching up on it, but it didn't quite get over.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like it.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I mean,
I'll have
that's
to keep it on the short list.
yeah, that's something that I would probably order at a brewery more than
Oh yeah,
the ale. But
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah,
definitely.
no offense.
Untaken.
No offense.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Oh,
coming.
it's certainly no.
All right. Moving on. So beer and seltzer done. We're going NHL playoffs. So this is where we really brought Suchin, as fun as that was, to give you all and us a full NHL breakdown.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through each series, talk a little bit, notes, players to watch,
Who do you think's gonna win the series? Maybe.
fun notes,
Yeah.
really anything that Such has, and then we're gonna after we do all that. Then we're gonna fast forward to the finals of each conference, give our picks, and then Stanley Cup winner. Cool.
I like it.
All
I
right.
like it.
Do you want to start Eastern Conference so then we can kind of finish up with the Western Conference in a while?
Yeah.
I think the Wild will probably be the one we talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's go Panthers Capitals.
That works.
Who do you think?
All right.
Yeah. What's your prediction?
Well, we gotta hear the rundown.
What's the rundown? Yeah.
Such, go for it.
No, you kind of have a young up-and-coming team in the Panthers, kind of versus a little bit more of the old crafty vets in the Capitals. You got kind of the mainstay of Ovi. I mean, he might be the greatest goal scorer of our generation. I mean, he's breaking records left and right, and set another 50 goal season here. The one issue on the Caps, it might be their back end, the defense and their goaltending. With the Panthers and their kind of young up and coming offense, I think you got Jonathan Huberdeau, Barkov. I mean, I think the Panthers offense is just going to be too much. And then on the back end, you even have Bobrovsky, which is a little bit of not an older goalie, but he's been around the block. He's been in the playoffs before. And then they have I think it's Steven Knight. He's been kind of a younger 2 or 3 year guy in the league, and he's their backup. So they have 2 goalies too on the backside. So I personally like the Panthers in this one. I think you'll see. I probably like the Panthers a lot, but
here's a question for you: How important is having 2 goalies that can play? Like, is it a huge advantage, or if one team just has a stud goalie, like, will that be enough?
Yeah, I think it depends to some degree, but I mean, you've seen years where an 8 seed rides a hot goalie all the way to Stanley Cup Finals. Where the Kings did that maybe 5-6 years ago with Jonathan Quick.
That's amazing,
I mean, if you can get a hot goalie, you got a hot goalie, and that's probably the one position in hockey where if your goalie's hot and gives up a goal a game or none a game, you can win nearly every game. So
yeah, I'll do it.
I don't know.
I will say it's crazy because, like, Florida, I feel like you don't think of hockey.
Yeah. And
Like
Florida got the Lightning.
Yeah.
I remember watching it. I think I was watching something maybe a few years ago, maybe last year, or maybe, whenever it was in the past. And it was like a Florida game, and they were talking, this was when Florida wasn't very good, and they were like, yeah, it's Florida. Why would you go inside to watch a hockey game?
Yeah.
And now they're
legit.
Now they're
Top seed over there.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. I mean,
They're very good.
We've
Yeah.
made a few points on them, and boys. I just don't know. I mean, I like Ovechkin. I mean, he's one of those players. He's literally the only player I can name on the team, but he's one of those players. That he's
Oshie.
They've had
they are
those
older
guys
for sure.
a long time.
Yeah.
Even I knew those guys were on the team because they were on the team like 8 years ago, it seems.
Oshie, USA hero.
Yeah, exactly.
So now let's go to the next one. Maple Leafs, Lightning.
I'm a big Lightning guy, so that's probably my second favorite team. If I had to root for a team, you're going Lightning versus Wild to meet in the Cup. They're the back-to-back Cup winners.
Yeah.
The expansion draft hurt them a bit with losing one of their young centers, but they are also in a lot of cap issues last offseason. So, but they're a deep team. They scout well. They got a good minor league system. Stamkos is back. Kucherov's now healthy. They have Vasilevsky, former Vezina winner, which
Seems
is
like they're kind of old too.
They are a little bit old. Kucherov and Braden Point help them out on the youngness, but they're especially on their defensive side. They're definitely older. But then you got the Leafs, which is kind of the young up and coming team again. Matthews has been in the league a little bit, but really he's never made a deep playoff run, and that's probably due to goaltending, which is probably their biggest weakness still, goaltending and defense. So
I feel like they're a team that's been knocked out the first few rounds.
yeah, there's always hope on them, but can their the back end kind of hold up? But Matthews has got 60 this year. I don't know. I think one of the Canadian teams is going to make a run this year. They not really the Canadian teams have made a run in the last 5-10 years. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. So now we move down to the lower.
Yep.
We got the one. The Hurricanes versus the Bruins.
Yep.
I mean, the Boston Bruins, I just want to preface this, NHL video game are literally the most fun team to play with.
Like 3 years ago.
When they had Chara, when they had the big dogs.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know who's on their team now, but Chara's definitely not there, so it doesn't make it as fun. But
No,
take it,
but they still
that was
have
my 2 cents.
they still have some
NHL.
of those guys on there. I mean, you got Bergeron and Marchand for sure.
Yeah.
And
What's
maybe-
up with the Hurricanes jerseys that they wear? The black ones. Those don't even look like Hurricanes.
They're their alternates. I have no clue. But they wear them quite a bit.
Interesting.
But how would you draw a hurricane on the jersey?
Well, it's normally like a big
Their
thing
logo.
twist.
Their
Yeah, almost
logo.
like the.
It's a big, massive circle.
Yeah. A little
With
twisty.
different colors. Yeah.
I like that.
But yeah, that's
The black jerseys.
it's
that
a
would
stick
make
and a
sense
flag.
to me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, I mean you're kind of continuing with the theme of an old kind of veteran team in Boston and versus a younger team in Carolina, but I don't know. Carolina's goalie was hurt kind of at the end of the year. It sounded like he was going to be back, but you never know. And I think always guys fight through some kind of injury. So
In playoffs.
in playoffs, I think goalie's just one position where it's kind of tough to do that.
I will say, I feel like it's one of those sports where, like, there's guys that come out at the end of the year and they're like, yeah, I had a broken tibia.
Yeah.
And I played.
Yep.
It's like, what do you mean you had a broken
To
tibia?
get surgery. And
Yeah, I had surgery on 5
months.
body parts and I'm out the whole offseason, but I'll be back for next year. And teeth are missing.
After the
It's
Stanley
crazy.
Cup, it's funny to see all the injuries that come out and who all has surgery.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
So you got Carolina? You like
I
Carolina?
like Carolina. You got Aho. You got Nino, which was a old Wild player that was a fan favorite.
Nino Nieder.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think the Carolina will do well in this series. I'm just not a big Boston guy, but I don't know how far they'll go in the playoffs.
Yeah. So the Rangers, Penguins, the last one on that side.
Yeah. No, I'm.
That's a fun one.
It is a fun one. You got an ex-Wild player in Jason Zucker on the Penguins. You got Crosby, which a lot of people have heard of. Malkin. So a couple guys from their deep playoff runs, but then a Jake Gensel, a local boy.
Oh, yeah.
And then a couple other guys. But I think the Rangers offense and Panarin and Kreider. And their kind of young goalie, which Vezina candidate Igor, and I don't know how to say his last name. It's about as Russian as it gets. But he's good, and it sounds like Penguins are gonna be out without their starting goalie for at least a couple of the games. So,
wow, really? That is not
yeah.
ideal.
No, and their backup, his stats were awful. So
Okay, there it is. Yeah, that's tough.
yeah,
Isn't
They're out.
isn't the local Brady Shea?
yeah. Brady Shea's down there, Golden boy.
Yeah, go
On
Yep.
the Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah, he's having a good
He's been the
season too.
Rangers for a long
Yeah, I
time.
think that's where he's been the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go for guy.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So who do you have? I guess should we just go to the other side and then make our way back, or who do you think is going to take it from that side to this?
I feel like we should go over to the west.
Go over to the west.
Yeah,
We go
and
to the
then
west.
and then do our picks at the end.
Picks
Yeah.
at the end?
Yeah.
I think we should start out with the bottom on the west, because then we can end with the Wild.
All right. So Oilers, Kings.
Yeah.
Oilers, Kings.
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally the best player. in the
yeah, I was gonna say you have
Literally.
two of the maybe McDavid in one, but Draisaitl's probably a top 5, top
How
7
many
player.
How many points does he have?
McDavid,
Yeah.
I want to say it's like 120
I
points.
think it's 100.
That's a lot.
I think it's 116.
Yeah.
Like that.
And
He's a-
Draisaitl's right around 100 or a little bit over.
Does he have
Every
60
time he-
goals.
I don't think so. I think it's Matthews is the only guy with 60 goals.
I'm gonna need more from him.
Dude, literally, I'm telling you, there is clips of that guy though, McDavid, and you're telling me he gets to the puck, and these guys are NHL guys, and he makes them look bad.
Yeah.
And he makes them look slow.
That's the most impressive part. He makes them look slow.
What about Nugent Hopkins? He's still on there, right?
I don't think so. I think Nugent Hopkins is on another team.
That was a few years ago.
No, Brad Nugent. He's an NFL kicker.
Shit.
You got the Kings, a kind of a younger team that's kind of built with some crafty vets. You got Kopitar.
Damn, he's still in the league.
Dustin Brown.
Honestly, is still in the league.
Yeah, but they have a lot of young guys to balance it out, especially on the defensive side. And you got Jonathan Quick still. So
he's there too.
Yeah.
Okay,
was it NHL
sure old.
That was NHL 2012.
Where they got Mikey Anderson, a Roseville boy.
Well, when I played NHL 2014 in college, those were all the guys that I picked the Kings for.
Yeah, Antti Kopitar is a beast.
Yeah,
it's a good mix, but maybe a little more veterans than probably the Oilers.
I picked them because they had a good goalie, and I needed a good goalie to save me.
Yeah, Jonathan Quick is good. I didn't know he was still in the league.
Yeah, so I mean, the Kings those guys probably got one more run left in them, if at all. The Oilers, the Oilers. The problem is that their goaltending is always inconsistent. Their defense is always inconsistent. If they can get decent amount of that, then their offense will hold up. I think for the Kings to win, they got to keep it a low scoring game, 1-2, 1-0, 2-1 kind of a game. But
yeah. So then we got Calgary versus the Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
I think Calgary has surprised some people too. I mean, they're good.
They're really good. I mean, they've put up a lot of points. Johnny Hockey and Matthew Tkachuk on the same line have been killing it. I mean,
Johnny Hockey, that's
Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah, Johnny Gaudreau.
He's a little guy.
When there was Johnny Football, there was Johnny Hockey because they were both in college at the same time.
Dude, he's a beast.
That's hilarious.
He's a beast.
He's good, and he's a small little guy. But Stars are coming in hot, and I kind of like the Stars.
Jamie Benn? Is he still there?
You got Jamie Benn, but you got Jake Ottinger, which is a local boy, Lakeville guy, as their starting goalie.
They're all from Lakeville. Jeez.
Yeah, you got really their issues. They're going to have one line that really scores. It's like Pavelski, Robertson, and I think Sagan's on that line. And it's really,
Sagan's a stud.
Yeah.
Tyler Sagan's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
So I think that one may be more of a toss-up than people think, but I do think the Flames will come out of that one.
Okay. Now let's go over. So Avalanche versus the Predators.
Yeah.
And I think when
one,
I did my little homework, this could be a
conversation.
4-0 rip.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah.
I don't know if calling it, but I'm saying this is potential to be a 4-0 rip.
They're getting Landeskog back too. I mean,
Dude,
I went to the Wild game on Friday when the Wild played the Avalanche, and Avalanche didn't play anyone. Wild only won, I think 4-1.
They're
but
good though.
yeah, I mean, you get McKinnon, Makar, Rantanen, Landeskog. I mean, Makar is like 20 years old and arguably one of the best defensemen in the league. McKinnon is so good, Rantanen's so good, Landeskog, and they're a deep team too. So I think they're probably their biggest weakness is goalie. They have a old Wild player, Darcy Kemper, as their goalie, and Wild fans probably know all well, but he was very inconsistent in his time here. So yeah, so I mean, if that's one position you can exploit, it's definitely goalie, and that's one position in the playoffs you really don't want to be shaky on. So.
So you said that they only beat them 4-1 when they didn't play anybody.
Yeah.
What is it the score expected to be?
Well, they had plenty of chances to make it a lot more.
Okay. Like 8-1.
Yeah, I mean they were in the first period. It could have been 5-4 or 5 rip.
Oh.
The only thing on the Predators is, I mean, their goalie's pretty good, Saros, and so if Saros can stand on his head, that's one of those things
He's
that
out
you're
the first
asking.
2 games.
Saros is?
Yeah, he's ruled out first 2 games.
Well, that's not good.
Well, then Predators
that's
have no chance.
2-0 for sure.
Yes, and I mean Yossi, their best defenseman, he's got close to 100 points as a defenseman, is pretty unbelievable. Yeah, they're gonna need a defensive performance that no one's really seen before. So
I mean, I think a lot of people have Colorado as the favorite.
oh yeah, they're the cup favorite. They're the favorite cup
that's
favorite.
great.
You think Nashville can take one game?
I think so. I
Just
mean, you
one.
get Saros back. You get a couple. Hockey sometimes is one of those games where you get a couple good bounces and you play a good
Steal
defensive
one.
game. Yeah, you can steal one.
What about this? The Avalanche, it looks like, are 1-6 in their last 7 games going into the playoffs. Does that matter?
I will say the only
1-6.
They lost 6 out of the last 7.
Yep.
Eesh.
They lost to the Predators 5-4.
Uh-oh, that's not good. Watch out.
Yeah, I would have to go back and look to see who is all playing. I know against the Wild, they didn't play all their stars. I mean, they had it locked up a while, a good amount of games ago.
That shows you how dominant they were.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose 6 out of your last 7, and you're still in first place by a lot.
I mean, if you lose 6 out of your last 7, and you have 19 total losses. That means you only had 13 losses the whole year.
Yeah.
Before that
That's
stretch.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna be Sweep City.
it might 4-1.
We'll give them one.
We'll give them one. 4-4, 1-4-2, maybe.
So now let's talk about the bread and butter.
Yeah.
The fellas.
Yeah.
Blues, Wild.
Yeah. You get probably the most exciting Wild team we've seen, the most talented Wild team we've seen. Kirill, Fiala, those top 2 lines kind of have been putting on a show over the last couple months. Really, that Goudreau, Fiala, Boldy line. When Boldy was called up during the year, Fiala's really taken off. So, it's always been the Wild's issue of not being tough enough for the playoffs and relying on one line to score. You really have 2 lines that do a lot of scoring, and then the grief line of Greenway, Eriksson, and Foligno. That they can score, but they can also shut down your best scoring line.
They're gonna
They're
grind.
gonna grind. So I like the Wild in it. I think the Wild can make a good run. I think the playoff format's a little bit different than most leagues, but
yeah, can you explain that for everybody's listening?
Yeah, so the Wild or the NHL, they basically take the two divisions in each conference, take the top three teams in each division, and then they're each seeded 1, 2, 3, and then the next 2 best teams out of the division are then given a 4 seed, and then basically there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You basically have to win out of your division and then go to the finals, and then from the finals to the Stanley Cup, which is a lot different from other leagues where they just rank 1 through 8, and then 1 will play 8, 2, 7, so on and so forth. So the Wild are actually the 2 seed. If you were to kind of rank it traditionally 1 to 8, they're the 2 seed, and I think the Blues are the 4 seed. So they're probably maybe the one of the more kind of unmatched, or it'd be a little more uneven of a, because most times it evens out to some degree, but this is maybe one of the ones where it's a little bit more uneven. But the Blues, the Blues are a playoff veteran team. Ryan O'Reilly's is known for the playoffs. You got Tarasenko, Barbashev. They've had the Wild's number the last couple of years, but I think going back to
not this year.
I think going back to the toughness thing, I think that 4th line, getting De La Rey, whatever, 44, I call him Day Slurries.
Day Slurries?
Yeah, Google his name. Try to say that.
What's his name?
I think we should just call him
Delorier?
Is it
Delorier? There you go.
It's Delorier. I mean,
Day
come on.
It's Day Slurries.
Day Slurries.
But I think he gives a little bit of enforce around the team, and you have a kind of going to your point earlier of 2 goalies. You have Fleury and Talbot, and hopefully that's a good problem having 2 rather than 1. So
that's been good for Talbot. I've heard Fleury. I mean, kind of push him a little bit. I mean, he's stepped his game up.
Yeah.
So it's good to see.
Hasn't lost in regulation since before the trade deadline. So
that's Talbot.
Talbot, yeah. Knock on wood.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So.
No, I like it. I think it will be a good matchup. I think a lot of people are interested. I mean, the Blues are.
I don't think it's a good matchup.
No, I think it will be a good matchup to watch.
Oh.
What do you mean? I don't think it's a good matchup. I think it's the best matchup to watch.
It's a tough.
100%. As a Wild fan, it's a tough matchup. As just in general, it will be a good matchup.
Because I don't think the Wild have beaten the Blues this year.
I mean, if it was the Wild, we'd rather play
the
Seattle
one
Kraken.
time.
I haven't beaten them one time. I think they're 0-4 against them this year.
That's not good.
So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we get them. Hopefully we get them this time.
Yeah, we need to.
We saved the 4 for the playoffs.
I hope.
Yeah. So who do you have coming out of the?
So let's go Western Conference Finals.
Finals.
So the 2 teams.
Okay.
Who do you got?
Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I'm going Flames Avalanche. I think the Wild to play.
Boo.
I think the Wild to get through the first round. I think the Wild will do well, but I don't want to. I think the Avalanche are too good. I think the Avalanche probably take it all this year.
I would say, to be honest, with my knowledge, I would probably say Avalanche Oilers.
I'm going, yeah.
I like Connor McDavid. Dude's a freaking stud.
Yeah, he is.
But I will say this. I mean, I don't know. The Colorado Avalanche are obviously the team I think we could all say would probably make it out.
Yeah.
But I think that bottom, I think it's up for anybody. Because like you said, the Oilers could get upset by the Kings.
Yeah. And I think Dallas will play a tougher series than most people will give them credit for. So
Credit for.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got Wild Oilers.
Wild Oilers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I cheer for the home team.
Hey.
Minnie.
I didn't want to pick them, and then I'd be riding when the Minnesota team, as they always do, hurt me. I'm not hurt twice.
That doesn't mean that they're going to win it all, but
I
gotta
like
at
it.
least get there.
No,
I like
yeah.
it. I like it.
All right,
so now
so-
Eastern
Yeah,
Conference?
East.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
I got the Rangers Panthers.
Oh!
So a little bit of an upset, but I think the can they still stand with chalk to some degree of the Panthers, but I think the Rangers could do it. They got a good goaltender. They got the top elite scoring, good defense. So and I think their matchup against Pittsburgh is a little bit easier than some of these other teams, but yeah, especially with Pittsburgh's kind of goalie being hurt.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I like the Panthers. But I'm going to go Maple Leafs Hurricanes.
Ugh, that's what I was going to pick.
Okay, I'm going to go. I actually think I was going to say either Panthers, but I didn't want to go 1-1, the 1 seeds, but I think the Hurricanes, and then I think the Panthers Maple Leafs will be
Yeah.
toss up.
I have Maple Leafs Hurricanes.
Yeah, I think they're good. I think it's Austin Matthews is a freaking beast.
Yeah.
Well, they look good. They can score, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. They just put the biscuit in the basket. That's what they call that.
So who do you got winning it all, Dave?
Who do I have winning it all?
Yeah, who do you got winning it all? Out of those four.
Man, I'm going to have to go with, I know this is not good for our side, but I'm going to go Avalanche versus, I'm going to go Avalanche versus the Hurricanes. Avalanche take it.
Avalanche take it?
Game 6.
Okay. I think it's going to be Avalanche, and this maybe we're going to go off the beaten path. Rangers winning it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Love that.
You think they can beat the Avalanche?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna go with the we'll go Oilers versus the Maple Leafs.
He's going the young guns. He's going.
I like it.
The
He's
Maple
going
Leafs are
McDavid
gonna
and
win.
Matthews. We'll see.
Maple Leafs.
We'll
But I have the
see.
Maple Leafs winning it, yeah.
So you think the trophy's going to go up to Canada?
Yeah, unfortunately.
First time in a while.
Yeah.
First time in a long time. So.
No better
Oh, well, I
yet.
guess it's 2 Canada teams, so
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
going up.
Do you hate America or?
Yeah. Tommy. Well, anyways, you guys got anything else on
Any
that?
final thoughts about the playoffs? Excited?
No, I think it was that time of year you get some good hockey on. We were talking a little earlier, most nights you don't necessarily have a hockey game on, but now you'll have one on basically every night for the next month and a half. And
How often are they on ESPN?
I think most
Pretty
of the games are on ESPN. You'll get some TNT.
Some ABC on
ABC.
Saturdays or Sundays, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much those 3 that cycle the basketball and hockey.
Yeah,
No,
if you get a
really.
chance, if TNT's got their crew on, they get Paul Vizzy.
Oh, so they're like the
Dwayne
Shaq.
Gretzky.
They're like the group.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fun group of
A little entertainment.
yeah, exactly. They get biz going. If you get Gretzky on, you can just see when Gretzky talks, they all just kind of shut up and listen to him. But
Smart.
yeah, it's a good group.
Love that.
Cool.
Highly recommend.
Nice. All
So
right.
Should we go to our last part?
Yeah.
Well, top 5?
Yeah.
You want to say what it is or want me to say it?
You can say it.
Top 5 NHL cities.
What are the grading parameters, David?
I did based off of their history of how good their team was. Narum just did, I think, for based on location.
I did it based off of
Let's just say
which
this.
city I liked the most.
Yeah, Nair said which city he wanted to move to go watch hockey. I did it basically based off of, I think, their history. But, I mean, tomato.
Yep.
We also have to preface this, how much we know hockey. Narum thought Minneapolis was the city for Minnesota.
Dang,
But
you're
it's
just gonna
Throw him right
Hey,
under
I'm
the
not
bus.
gonna out him. I'm just
Right
saying.
under
I'm
the
just
bus.
saying. I'm
You
just
did
saying.
out me.
100%. But
That's fine.
it's all right. So do you want to go? You give your top 5, 5-1.
Okay. So I got LA number 1, Denver number 2, Boston number 3, New York number 4, and Vegas number 5.
The newbie, Vegas, love it.
Yeah. LA, Denver, Boston, New York, Vegas. As you can tell, I'm kind of a big city guy, so
Vegas.
Like
That's
doing that.
I'm
Two
good.
Vegas is 2.
Vegas is 5.
5.
Oh,
Yeah.
5.
LA's 1, Denver's 2.
Gotcha.
Just because I do like to hike. I'm more of an ocean guy, so that's why LA's top.
Yeah.
And I couldn't just do all West Coast.
Yeah. Jeremy's rolling
Cities.
around in his grave right now. He hates Vegas, so that you put him as a top 5 hockey city. He's not gonna be too happy with that.
When did
Sorry.
they become part of the league? A few years ago?
3 or 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'll say my top 5 are number 1, Pittsburgh, 2, Tampa Bay, 3, Anaheim, 4, Denver, 5, Boston.
Alright, well, we have 2 similar.
So,
Yeah,
and what was your criteria?
Based off of their history. I mean, Tampa Bay is back Stanley Cup winners.
Yep.
Pittsburgh, obviously,
Is it more of a recent history?
I think Anaheim, I did it just because of the movies.
Movies?
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. Because
Gordon Bombay, baby.
They got movies
Gordon
about
Bombay.
it.
yeah.
It's knuckle puck time.
Well, I was gonna say if you're talking based on histories, you don't include like Montreal, and they won like 7 cups in a row.
Yeah.
Edmonton.
That's a
with
fake
Gretzky.
list then.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What are you talking about?
Your parameters don't even include the best cities.
I mean, there's a lot of teams. I mean, mine are literally 5 good hockey teams right there. 5 good sporting hockey
If you
teams.
pick Pittsburgh, why didn't you pick Washington? I feel like they've been pretty similar.
Washington's not my favorite. The Capitals? Not a big
Yeah, but
Capitals
if
guy.
Pittsburgh's your number 1,
Yeah, Pittsburgh's good. They had Mario Lemieux back in the day. They have some history to them.
Yeah.
well, Ovechkin's.
Ovechkin's still playing.
I know, but you could say.
Would you say Ovechkin's better than Sidney Crosby? Go.
Yeah.
I would say yes. If Crosby didn't.
Owned.
If Crosby didn't.
No. Wait.
If Crosby didn't have some
Malkin?
concussion issues, no,
Oh.
he had like a season and a half that he didn't play with concussion issues.
Would you say Malkin and Backstrom are similar?
No, Malkin's way better. Bro, Malkin is very good.
I'd go Malkin.
Malkin is very
But
good.
are they in the same realm?
You could argue that. I mean, I probably would go Malkin, but
Malkin's tier 2, if we're talking tiers. Backstrom is tier 2.7. Almost tier 3, but I don't want to disrespect him. No, he's closer to 3 than he is 2. I don't want to
Still in
disrespect the
the
man,
twos.
though.
yeah.
But, yeah. So, Such, do you have 5 cities off the top of your head?
No.
I know you're not prepared for this, but...
St. Paul,
That's a good answer.
Yeah, well, in Minneapolis, according to Narum, but
Well, you could sneak Minneapolis honorable mention, maybe.
yeah. Well, if I had to go, I'd probably say like,
Pre-game Minneapolis, go to the game in St.
Mhm.
Paul.
ooh, no, you gotta go West 7th.
No.
Yeah, you gotta go to Reed's. You gotta go to, you gotta hit up all the bars down there. St. Paul probably won, but like, I bet going to a game in Chicago would be awesome.
They're kind of bad now, aren't they?
They're
Not good.
they're not great. Detroit would probably be a cool city to go see the game. Boston would probably be another one,
Yeah, I think Boston would be cool to go to.
and then probably one of the Canadian cities, whether that's Edmonton or Toronto, something like that.
Yeah. I feel like they just have to do things like Edmonton. Like, what else do they have besides hockey?
That's true.
Like,
Hockey.
That's what I'm saying.
It's probably just such a normal city.
I guess they do have a soccer team.
But we just think.
I think it's hockey and lacrosse, honestly.
Oh, yeah. But it's just so
Since
different
it's
because it's like we
Canada.
have all the sports, but they don't have like
Football.
baseball, football.
CFL,
There's
man.
some baseball.
I mean, just trash in the
Edmonton?
CFL.
No, not Edmonton.
Oh, Canada,
But
yeah.
like Canada.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Anything else, Such? Final words?
No, thanks guys for having me on. It's great. You know, as the first guest, this is. Hopefully, I didn't leave the bar too high. Probably a little bit lower, but
Not so long.
No, dude.
That's a
NHL
lot.
expert. We're just gonna see how you did.
yeah, we'll see. All the fact checkers will come out on Thursday.
Uh-huh.
You gotta love that.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Peace.
See ya.
Boy, Such.
There we go.
You get a lot more in depth. When you were typing these names, I was like, who the fuck are Skarcharov and Karkarov and Markarov?
I didn't even want to try the Russian goalie from the Rangers. That would have been awful. It would have been a mouthful.
No, that's crazy. That was good, though.
You can't let the beer go to waste. That thing gets hot, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm sweating.
I'm sitting here in a hockey jersey.
Yeah. There was one episode, I think I was wearing a red shirt and Nair was wearing his purple shirt, and you could literally see it. You were like this.
That might have been the longest fucking episode.
That was the
ever.
one that was probably 70-some minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long did we go? About an hour?
No, not that.
A little less.
Okay.
You know who actually sucks at basketball? Georges Niang. He's so slow.
He used to play for Iowa State, right?
Yeah. But he's so slow. Bang. Oh, Victor.
Good job, Such.
Yeah, good job.
Thanks
Such.
for
That was
coming.
good, yeah.
Thank you. No, thanks for having me, guys. It was
What did
fun.
you think?
it's good. No, I thought it went well.
Pretty casual.
Oh yeah. Now we need to go for football expert.
I will say it always starts, we always have a plan, and we follow the script a little bit, but then we just, you
Well,
say
yeah.
whatever you want to say, and you do whatever you want to do.
Well, that's more to the thing of just like, you just go through each, like having just the thought of like, let's go through each game and just talk about, what the,
Oh, totally.
a little bit about it. And by the way, the Leafs are killing.
Yeah, 4 rip.
Oh,
Four
yeah,
rip.
They're dominating.
That's why I chose them as my.
They can
favorite.
score. Oh,
They
why you
can
chose them? Oh, to go to the
He saw the 4
win.
rip, and that's when he changed his
game
mind.
1 4 rip.
Yeah. They're dominating.
Yeah. I mean, I will say after the 5-minute penalty, getting one shot in that whole time frame probably